Yeah, good afternoon and welcome to the Cryosphere Pavilion. My name is Christina and I'm a geophysicist at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver. And I have the pleasure of introducing our next session. It's entitled A Case Study from India on 25 Years of Renewable Energy Projects from Brahma Kumaris. And I can invite our next speaker, Aneta Loy, here on the podium. Thank you.
Hello, thank you very much for introduction and welcome. I'm happy that I can indeed present our case study. It's an experience of 25 years in research and development of renewable energy technologies. And what is maybe specific about this and very special is that this is combination of science and spirituality. So this also shows that when you are able to have a peaceful mind, control your thoughts, then you can be creative and you really can come out of the box, and then actually impossible becomes possible, as you will hopefully see. So let us start. It's not working, or it's working? So if you can go back one slide, please. So Brahma Kumaris is a research institute recognized by Indian government. Our headquarters is in India. We are an international NGO accredited to Convention on Climate Change and also biodiversity and combating desertification. So basically what we do, we focus on inner development, and then through this inner development, we see how we can contribute to all this perma-crisis that is existing today in our world. So in terms of renewable energy, what we do, we focus on solar energy, and we have had many experiments, many research projects in both photovoltaic and also thermal energy. And what we research is storage system. So how we can conserve energy from the sun, how we can store it, so it can be used after the sunset. And our newest R&D project is on biogas. So I will present to you our achievements so far, our lessons, what we learned. This is not for you to read, but it is to show that we have done many research projects for the last 25, 30 years. And these projects were very often done with government of India, but also government of Germany. They were supporting us, they were contracting us to conduct specific research activities. And in our work, we also collaborated with scientists from India and from Germany, with different engineers. So it is also a very nice example of collaboration with different stakeholders. And as a result of this collaboration, in terms of photovoltaic system, it's not that we research and did experiments in the PV plates, but we always research and see how we can improve the storage system. So right now in India, we have 500 systems, which totally combined are something like 3 megawatts. So I think it is like 5,000 centers in India that are already equipped with smaller or medium-sized systems, and most of them have batteries. So this is off-grid system. So when power goes, which in India still happens, less than before, we have our source of energy. And what we do now in terms of research in PV system is we create a new kitchen, solar kitchen, where we will cook on induction cooking stoves using solar energy generated by PV. And this is the system that we have just installed. So it's in one of our campuses in Rajasthan, India. And before that, we had another system also where we used solar energy to cook. And we also used wood to cook and coal. So that was, of course, not environmentally friendly and it was not good for health. So now all cooking that we are going to do is done on solar energy using these induction cookers. And this is, of course, very beneficial for environment, but also for health of cooks. And looking back into the past, what we have done, as I said, we did research in so-called solar thermal technology. Solar thermal is a technology that uses heat from the sun. So solar photovoltaic is using light, and solar thermal is using heat. And then we can use this heat for many different applications. In this case, it's a solar system which we installed already 20 years ago in one of our hospitals. Again, in Rajasthan, it's a rural area. It used to be the only hospital in that area. So this system was there to generate steam, heat, to sterilize the medical instruments, but also for laundry purposes and for cooking. And this is operational till today. Then another example is a solar system, which we use to generate steam for cooking. This is our original campus, again, in the mountains, Aravalli Mountains in Rajasthan. So wherever we have campuses, we see how we can use renewable energy for all different applications. One is power generation, electricity, but then also heat generation wherever it is more effective and efficient, like for cooking, for example. And this is a campus, which is our headquarters, and this is also in Rajasthan, but below the mountains. It's called Shantivan, and it's a quite big campus because it can accommodate 25,000 people. So it's like a small town. And right now I can say that, depends on how many people are there, but maybe 60–80% of demand is fulfilled by renewable energy. And what you can, maybe you cannot see here, but I will show to you. Just here is our solar cooker, where again we use these parabolic dishes. I will explain in a moment how they work to generate steam. And then the steam goes to our kitchen, and there we can cook 35,000 meals a day. So it's quite a big solar kitchen. And this kitchen was constructed in 1999. Next slide will show this. And it consists of 84 parabolic concentrators. So these are like big dishes. They are of 9.6 square meters. 84, and they work like a sunflower. So what they do, because the earth is rotating, the sun in the morning is in the east, in the evening is in the west. So they, like sunflowers, they follow the sun. And like this, it's possible to have static focus points. So the sunlight that comes on the surface is then concentrated in one static focus point where we generate heat. And then this heat is heating up the water, which we pump in, and we generate steam in this way. So after we built this system, actually Indian government decided to create a special scheme to promote this kind of technologies in India. Because in India we have a lot of sun, so we can really harness it for this kind of purposes. So from that moment, many other systems were created. And we are a spiritual organization. So whatever we do, we share. We share for free our knowledge, our experience. So the same is with this system. So we have trained many people, and then different companies emerged that were creating this kind of systems for different applications. Because heat can be used in many industrial applications. So wherever it is possible, it can be done. And what is interesting, we did everything by ourselves. So starting from the design, then fabrication, installation, and operation. And this, as you have seen, it was installed in 1999 and it's working perfectly well till today. Of course, with some improvements and maybe some replacements of broken glasses. But the system as such is working well. And this is not a small thing, especially in India, because it's relatively easy to do something, but then maintenance is a challenge because of many reasons, climatic conditions and others. But the systems that we install are working for 20-25 years. Why? Because again, our purpose is not to earn money out of the systems, but really to contribute to the environment and also for community development. And whatever we do, we do from our hearts and out of love. That's why we also care for it later on. And the system that I showed just before was 9.6 square meters. And this was evolution. We started actually from 7 square meters, then 9, then 16, and then even bigger, which I will show now. This was our biggest research program. It is called India One Solar Thermal Power Plant. And here we developed a dish, like parabolic reflector, which is of size of 60 square meters. So it's quite big, like bigger than this area, I guess, right? And it is a parabola. So a lot of thinking, a lot of experiments, a lot of tests, and then improvements had to go into this. Because it is indigenous technology. This technology existed before, but on small scale, to generate steam, which is okay for cooking, but not for power generation. For power generation, we need much powerful steam, because we need to run the turbine. So this steam is saturated or superheated, so the temperature has to be between 252 centigrades and 400. And also it has to be high pressure, like 42 bar. So we need a lot of power to generate enough of this kind of steam. So what we did, we developed this reflector, and I will tell you a little bit more later on. And we needed to have 770 of such reflectors, so we could generate enough steam to run the turbine and to generate 1 megawatt electricity, 24 hours a day. So these are 770 of these reflectors. You can see they are specially bent, they have special mirrors, and then they have special tracking system because they have to follow the sun. So it's a little bit complicated. I'm not going to go into details, but they move from east to west. Then they also incline seasonally because north and sun, the location of sun is different, like summer and winter. And also they change the shape. So it's like a flexible parabola because it's a big size. So it needs to be flexible in such a way that the sun that falls on the surface will be concentrated in one static point. And we want, because there are different technologies in this concentrated solar thermal application, but this one is with static focus point. And this allowed us to incorporate storage into this so-called receiver. So this technology consists of the reflector and the receiver. Let's see if we can see receiver. Before we go to receiver, this is the campus for which we built it. So from October till March, every 2 weeks, we have big gatherings, as you can see in this hall. Like 25,000 people come for meetings, and we all can sit in this big so-called diamond hall. So for these people, we need a lot of energy for cooking, but also for all other activities. So this technology of India One Solar Thermal Power Plant, which is again indigenous technology, it is research, development and demonstration program. And so we have this reflector and then we have this receiver. Each reflector has a corresponding receiver. And this receiver is made out of cast iron. So it's a mass of cast iron. And this is like 3 tons of cast iron, one receiver. You can see there the receiver, the one that is shining because the sunlight is concentrated. It's a lot of energy there that we concentrate. Like at the opening of this receiver, it's 1200 centigrade, very hot. But thanks to the mass of this receiver, we can store heat in it. So our storage is in the form of heat. So it is decentralized storage because we have 770 reflectors and 770 receivers. So decentralized storage, which in total allows us to generate enough steam to run the turbine and to generate 1 megawatt electricity times 24 hours. So this is round-the-clock operation. And I believe still it is the only solar power plant that can run 24 hours a day, continuously, round the clock, because of the storage system. Okay, this I explained. I'll not go into details, but it was really quite a technical project. And as I said, it was done by spiritual organization, of course, in collaboration with scientists and engineers. But these were mostly members of our organization that did this work. And it's very interesting because we are all volunteers and we call ourselves yogis. We are meditators. So this is our main thing, what we do, we meditate. And this actually shows the power of meditation, the power of peace, the power of clean mind, and also clean heart. Because when you have clean mind, clear intellect, and open heart, then you can really think unlimited. And then you can come out with some solutions which otherwise would not be possible when you look at short or medium-term gains. So actually this allowed us to create this kind of technology to demonstrate that it is possible to generate power from the sun 24 hours a day. And this is indigenous technology made in India, which is also interesting thing. But India actually is one of the countries that is developing solar energy maybe the fastest. So Indian government was also supporting us quite a lot in that, in terms of financial support. And here you can see the project. So it was inaugurated in 2017, and since then it is working. And this is the team of the engineers. So these were mostly young brothers, engineers, who didn't really have a lot of experience. But again, because of this meditation practice, because of the good intentions, something like that could happen. So this is something what you can reflect on, actually. If you want to create something new, something what is beneficial, not only for me, but for others, meditation is for sure enabler in that. And these are our partners with whom we did. So Indian government, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, and the German government, Federal Ministry of Environment, through GIZ. Okay, and then what we do, not only we create something, but then we want to create an awareness, to spread awareness. So we organize many training programs or awareness sessions in general about the state of the world, about what is possible in terms of technologies and how to make it happen. So for 3 years, we had the Awareness Camp Training Center, sponsored by UNDP and JEF, where around 600 entrepreneurs from India came and they learned how to create this kind of technologies. On top of that, you have seen the big campus that we have. So actually every year we receive about 1 million people, and mostly 1 million 1 million. And I would say maybe not 100%, but I don't know, 80%, not 100, but 80% of them come to see the solar power plant. So this is also a very nice opportunity to educate people. And we have many guests from all different spheres of society. We have many children who come, students who come, and who do their PhD, for example, with us, and many religious people, many politicians. So in this way, we are able to share the knowledge about solar and we say soul. So about the physical energy from the sun and the inner spiritual energy that we are. So it's really a combination between science and spirituality. We need both in order to come with some new innovations that are beneficial for everyone in the long term also. So, and then something what I'm very happy about, what we did at the same time, we did a lot of capacity building for the local community, because this campus is located in a rural area of Rajasthan, which is a little bit backward, we can say. So this was also a very good occasion to educate, to create skills among local community. We employed in the peak of activities about 300 local people, and we trained them how to manufacture this kind of thing. And fabrication of this system is very demanding. It has to be very accurate. The precision has to be up to 0.01 millimeters. Otherwise, the focus will not come here, and we will not be able to create so much power that we can later generate electricity. So they were able to make it, and now after this project is finished, many of them continued in this area. So this was for men, but also for women. For women, it was also very, very good place to gain new skills, to gain confidence, and to become a little more independent. So they could also see what they want to do with life, how they can develop. Young girls and also women. And this is the team that has done it again. Our organization, Brahma Kumaris, is the largest spiritual organization led by women. We have about 1 million of students because we are a university. We are called Brahma Kumaris World Spiritual University. So we study the spiritual knowledge, and then we put it in practice. But since the beginning, which was in 1936, these were women who were the leaders of our organization. So the founder, actually at that time, he had this understanding and this vision that in order to transform the world, we need to empower women. One is to uplift them, but what is even more important is that in order to bring change in the world today, we need different type of energy. Energy that is modeled by women. Energy of love, of selflessness, of dedication, of courage. So, yeah, this continued since 1936, and still here our leaders are women, but it doesn't mean that there are no men amongst us. Actually, we are 50-50, and decisions are taken in consensus by a group of men and women, sisters and brothers. But always sisters are leaders put in front. That's why also this kind of thing is possible, because this project is required long-term vision. No? Someone would have to be really far-sighted to understand that it is important, it makes sense, because it was not easy. Like in the beginning, we didn't know, we just knew what we wanted to have. We wanted to create technology that would allow us to generate power from sun for 24 hours. a day. But we didn't know what technology, how to create this technology, who will do it, because we are just meditators, yogis. How can we create such a technology? We had no money. This costed a lot of money, like 11 million euros, because research and development project. So nothing was available, but our senior sisters, they understood that this is very important to do it, to demonstrate that it is possible, and to show again the power of peaceful minds and pure heart, actually. So they led us into this direction, and now we see that it really works. And I believe it was possible because of this feminine energy leadership, really. Okay, this is our website. If anyone is interested, you can see more details, india-one.net. And this is a video, but I don't know if we can play this video, then you can see in reality how it looks. So it is solar thermal power plant. And now we are going to India, Rajasthan, western part of India, where we can see beautiful Aravalli Mountains, the oldest mountains in the whole world, they say, very ancient. And it's on top of the mountains, it's nice, it's green, but on the bottom, it's actually semi-desert area. So this is our solar power plant. You can see the 770 dishes on the 35 acres area. So as I said, every reflector has a corresponding receiver, and then they are arranged in rows and connected by pipe through which we flow water, and then steam comes out from the other side and goes to the turbine. So 16 hours of storage, because 8 hours we can generate directly from the sun, and then after sunset for 16 hours, we generate from what we stored during the day. So this is the static receiver, which is very unique technology, actually. And here you can see the mechanism allowing for all these movements. It's a dual axis, but actually 3 types of movement. So this looks like a field of sunflowers. It's quite nice, actually. And then we also installed, currently we have 2.2 megawatt of solar PV, photovoltaic systems. What we also do, we do organic farming, but it's more than organic farming. I will speak about it a little bit later yet. And we also created a garden. We planted like 5,000 of different fruit trees all around, because before it was really like a desert, and now it's a beautiful garden, actually. This is the workshop where we fabricated everything, and it was very challenging. So we had special masters, like jigs, prepared, so everything could be done in a precise way. And again, this is the team. And this is, for example, our senior sister. She now passed away, but she was 104 years old, and she was very big supporter of this project, very far-sighted soul and compassionate. So now we run it and we maintain it. One of the main maintenance is to clean the murals, so the reflection will be good. So this is India One solar thermal power plant. Thank you. Okay, so there you can see the dishes, the reflectors, and this is our newer system, photovoltaic system. This is not a research project. This is just the standard PV systems that are available. But our campus is continuously growing. So the demand is bigger and bigger. That's why we keep adding the systems. And this is our newest project. It is a photovoltaic system. So as such, the plates we buy, but what is very new, and you can see, is the way how we installed them. Normally we install PV panels like this, facing the sun. But here we did so-called carpet installation. And this is very good because it allows to save a lot of space. For PV, one of the main problems is that we need a lot of space to install it. And like this, I think we need almost half less space than normally. And then after solar energy, we thought that it is time to look at biogas. Because we have these big systems, big campuses, there is a lot of organic waste from the kitchen. So we created this biogas plant where we collect, for which we collect organic waste from the kitchen, from all our campuses. We bring it to the site, and then we generate power, and we generate also liquid fertilizer. So like this, we reuse the waste, and also it's like we make the waste into best. So one is power, and we use this power for lighting applications in our campus, and also to charge electrical vehicles. And then we have also this fertilizer, natural fertilizer that we can use on the field and in our garden. And again, this is a demonstration site. Because, again, in India, there is a lot of potential for this kind of applications, and there is very big need. So here we organize awareness center. So again, so many people come and learn what can be done, how to do it, how to run it, and we share this knowledge with everyone who is interested in that. And just to finish, I would like to speak about a little bit different energy. So this was like physical energy, but there is energy of the thought. Actually, our thought energy is the most powerful energy because it is the creative energy. When you think about the thought, you can see how it follows us. Now my thought becomes my attitude. My attitude becomes my vision, how I perceive things. Then my vision defines what I say. Then my actions are based on that thought. And then my relationships are accordingly established. And then the culture is created, and then the whole world becomes. So actually, if we understand this trajectory, if we think about it a little bit, we could come to the conclusion that the current crisis is not a climate crisis, but it is a thought crisis, inner crisis. Because if we agree with this trajectory, the world outside is the reflection of our inner world. So we understand this process, and again, we experiment with it. So what we do, we use positive thoughts, good feelings as a fertilizer. You may have an experience at home. Sometimes we speak to our plants, we treat them nicely, so they grow beautifully. Because matter responds to the energy of the thought. And what we do here, we use this understanding on the fields. So we call it yogic farming. Yogic from yoga, from meditation. What we do before we plant or sow the seeds, we meditate. Meditate, it means we consciously create positive thoughts with intention for the seeds. The same we do with soil, with water, and then after we sow the seeds, throughout the whole cycle, we keep meditating. And it is amazing what kind of results we can achieve. And it's a research project that we do with few universities in India. So the experiments are done in such a way that we can compare. We can compare chemical-based farming with yogic farming and only organic farming. So actually the conclusion is that when we combine organic farming, or even better natural farming, with yogic farming, the crops in terms of quantity will be the same or better than chemical-based farming. So in terms of the quality, it is much better actually. There are many more nutrients in the crops, but also the soil. The soil becomes more fertile. The microorganisms that are in the soil, the organic content increases. So it's very interesting project that we run. And currently it's few thousand of farmers in India that also use this methodology. So you can see without meditation and with meditation. You must have heard about experiments of Emoto-san from Japan, experiments with water. So this is the same idea. Like he would take 2 glasses of water, the same conditions, everything the same. The only difference was how he related to that glass and this glass. So here he would say, I love you, I hate you, I love you, I hate you. And then after some time, he froze the water and he checked the crystals under the microscope. And he could see the difference in the structure of water. In this love one, the structure was beautiful, very harmonious. And in the hate one, it was very ugly, distorted like this. And you can think about it if you wish, because, for example, our body consists of mostly water. And you are in a cryosphere pavilion, so you understand how important water is. And then if we understand how water responds to vibrations, we can think twice before we think. Understand? Okay, so this is just to finalize this little presentation. Because as I said in the beginning, we are actually a spiritual organization. We practice, we learn, and we teach meditation. And these are 10 principles that we defined, 10 principles so that if we use them, we would be able to change the world. And these are things like living simply, so to be less materialistic, to reduce the consumption, being unlimited, not to think only about myself or my direct family, but really about humanity and the whole planet as our home, as our mother. Opening the heart, so to have compassion in the heart for everyone, respecting life. But respecting life starts with respecting myself. And this is actually one of the main work that we should be doing. Because somewhere on the way we lost self-respect. That's why we are also not able to respect others or nature. Being positive, of course, positive thoughts, they have such a big influence, positive influence, on anything that they touch. Walk the talk, so it's not only dreaming, but really doing what we say. So for that we need determination and courage. We need to empower ourselves. So somehow we need to find a way to gain energy, power from the source. Eating well is very important because we already now know that unsustainable agriculture is one of the main causes of the environmental degradation and of greenhouse gases emissions. So plant-based diet is the best for our Mother Earth and for us and for animals. Follow your dream. Yeah, why not? Meditation helps to open the heart and become really unlimited, very creative. So then newness comes. Newness is very important in our life. And then we can follow this newness, follow our dream. But everything starts and finishes with feeding the soul. Like we feed the body 3 times a day, or how many times? Do we feed the soul? Feed the soul with positive thoughts, with true thoughts, with benevolent thoughts. So I would really recommend to everyone who is watching this to think about it. Just think about your inner world and how it reflects in outer world, and how, if you take care of your inner world, what kind of contribution you could make to the world outside. For example, like all these renewable energy projects done by people who are not paid for it, who have not necessarily studied in the best universities, who have not worked in big corporations, but were able to make impossible possible. So yes, I think I would like to finish now, and thank you very much for your attention. But I would like to finish with a moment of silence, so you can a little bit digest what you have heard, and just pick one thing what you can take with you. So this 1 hour or 45 minutes would not be wasted. Okay, so just let's sit for a moment in silence and think what kind of lesson you can take for yourself to improve your life, to become maybe more peaceful or content. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much for our speaker. And are there any questions from the audience?
When you talk about positive thoughts, it learns vegetables grow well. Is there a scientific study that
Yes. Yes, as I said, we do research. It's a research project with few universities from Gujarat and Rajasthan. And this result that I have shown you, actually, yes, we have scientific proof that the positive thoughts, but done, consistently and regularly, it helps to grow the vegetables or the plants. Yes, but of course, I don't think it's peer-reviewed study. But sometimes we know things, right? We just don't. We should experiment ourselves. This is the best study, I believe. And it's not difficult to experiment with it. So if you are interested, you can do this. Thank you. Thank you.